What's up, Exploders? Today I have a new product to unveil, available at BrainExploderCreations.com, and it's the third-person minimalist shoulder mount, lovingly nicknamed Polly. Let's take a look at it. The reason the mount's nicknamed Polly, and that nickname comes from Andy G of Tac City, is because it sits on your shoulder much like a parrot. What's good about it is that it's very small, it mounts to your shoulder, and it's as minimally intrusive as possible to get that unique third-person point of view. So the mount's based around the in-off C3 camera. What you need from here is the lens unit, which as you can see is on the wire, very important, and the camera unit itself. It might be obvious, but this part of the camera is what captures the video and then sends it via this fairly long but not too long line back to the recording unit, which you could house anywhere. I, for example, put it in my pant pocket. You could keep it on your gear in the front and the back. What's great about this versus my homemade mount, where I had to try to look at my shoulder and make sure I'm recording, is you could easily pull it out, get it started, put it away, and forget about it. You know it's recording. One thing I would recommend about this camera is as soon as you get it, is put on this clip. It's one of the cradles it comes with. Put the camera in there and zip tie it. So this keeps the camera intact. It also keeps it in the mount, and after you insert your SD, when you move this zip tie over, it keeps the SD card from falling out. Make sure you put it on this last setting, which is continuous recording without loop recording. You don't want that. So move it over to the O setting and zip tie this thing. I would also recommend updating the firmware and setting it to one button record. Alright, enough about the camera. Let's talk about the mount, because that's really what I offer to this whole solution. So this is the mount. This is sort of what you will buy. It comes in 4 pieces. First off, there's the base, and that attaches to either your vest or a backpack or anything else firm that you have on your shoulder. Next is the locking piece. This serves 2 functions. First of all, it attaches to the base, and the other function it serves is it holds the arm in and it allows you to adjust the arm. From there you have the arm, which extends about 14 centimeters. It comes with the 14 centimeter arms. I might make longer or shorter ones available depending on how this goes. That screws into the locking piece, and it also attaches to the head section here, which holds in the camera lens and allows you to make forward and back tilting adjustments to the camera to get the perfect angle. When I designed this, I wanted to solve the problems I was having with my homemade version, which got really great footage, but it was a lot of work to get that footage. First of all, as I mentioned, I couldn't see if I ever hit the record button. I had to have somebody check every time. Using this remote lens camera, I can now quickly see if I'm recording and put the camera away. Next thing is this clip system. So you can see this whole piece comes off. This is your lens and wire part. This stays on your shoulder. You could quickly pull this out of your bag, clip it in here, route the wire through your vest, and you're good to go. The other part that bugged me on my homemade design was the inability to keep a constant lock. If I got hit on something, or if I lined it up wrong, or if I lined it up right, I wouldn't be able to necessarily lock it in there permanently. What I did here was design locks with teeth, and when you get that perfect position and you screw it down, it's not going anywhere. There's no chance of it slipping out. It's staying there forever. So when you order this mount, it's a 4-piece system. On your end, you have to supply the in-off C3 camera, 2 screws, and 4 zip ties. First thing you want to do is take the lens unit and mark a silver line to the corresponding notch it has on it. That shows you the top center alignment. So then go ahead, take the head piece here, spread it open, slide in the lens unit with the flared part towards the front. The flared part serves a couple of functions. First, it's a mini sunshade, but its main function is a little bumper for the camera. So if you bump into a wall, the bumper will take the shock instead of your glass of your lens. So once you slide the lens in, go ahead and attach the head to the arm. So you'll see there's a bunch of notches on the head side of the locking piece, and these are just different clicks, so this way you can keep track of which setting works for you. I personally like to use the number 11 notch, so line it up with a little triangle on the arm, put in the screw and put it in the corresponding knot and lock it down. Next, you want to run the wire through the arm. There's a channel in the back of the arm that's designed to fit the wire, so tuck it in there. Add 2 zip ties. I would recommend the small zip ties. When you get to the base, again, same kind of locking system. Put the arm into the base. For me, I like to use the number 10 setting. That works well for me. So put it in, add the nut and bolt. Go ahead, put the nut into the arm and put the bolt through the bottom of the base. This way you're not scratching the locking piece. The base is designed to mount onto your vest or backpack. What you want to do is put on your gear like you would if you're going to use it in the game. Make sure you load it with all the stuff, like if you have a HPA tank or if you have a lot of magazines on the front, put them in, because that adjusts the way the vest will kind of hang on your body. Then lay this gently over the shoulder. What you want to do is find the center point where it feels comfortable and it's just about horizontal with the earth. When you do, mark it either with tape, if you don't mind drawing on your gear, put a little marker, then go ahead, take the vest off. Next, you want to lay this on the vest, run the zip tie around the mount and through the mount and under the shoulder part of the vest, and lock it down, trim it, and you're good to go. There are also openings vertically where if you want to put this through some molly, but for me, a zip tie in the front and one in the back holds this thing permanently in place. Additionally, I've also designed a mount that's supposed to go onto something that doesn't have a strap. Let's say you have a heavy combat shirt or a leather jacket and you want to mount to that. You have this piece. It's similar to the vest mount, but it just has a bunch of openings so that you could sew it onto the shoulder and then clip them out right in there. I would recommend using something very sturdy like a leather jacket or a heavy combat jacket. A typical combat shirt is a little sloppy, so make sure it's something sturdy. Otherwise, a vest or a backpack is your best bet. So for this next part, I got my vest on here, which is how you would actually use the camera once you got all set up. As you can see, I have the shoulder mount here on my right hand side. It sits right kind of where my shoulder crests, right on top. It's very comfortable. In fact, if I don't use the camera, I don't even notice that it's there. It doesn't get in the way of slings or HPA lines. So when you're ready to use it, go ahead. This is your finished product. As you can see, got the lens, everything zip tied down, and I got the remote line. What I like to do is run the line behind my vest to my left side because that's where I keep the camera. Then it's pretty easy to insert this into your vest by yourself. You shouldn't need any major assistance. You could do this before you put the vest on, but you could also do it when you have the vest already on. As you can see, very minimal, very sturdy, and I don't even have all my mags in like I told you should do. Can't go forward, can't go backwards. It has these little locking arms that you have to squeeze and push to get it out. So it's a very sturdy solution. As you can see, I have my line running out here. Because it's a little long and goes to about my knee, I like to loop it through the cummerbund, then attach it to the camera, and then I could safely put the camera in my pocket. And the camera's pointing in the perfect direction. I know that because I've already tested and set it up, and it can't rotate, can't pivot. Everything is fixed and everything's repeatable. Very important stuff. So there you go, guys. That's the third-person camera mount, aka Poly. Very minimal, very easy to set up, very easy to use. Adds a whole new angle to your footage, be it gameplay, hiking, or whatever else you manage to stick it on. So be sure to check out BrainExploderCreations.com to pick the mount system for yourself. Get the C3 camera, put them together, clip it on your vest, and start making those gameplays that you don't see anyone else doing, except for me, of course. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.